Classic. Let's see what it's like. You're in there. I'm supposed to hear that.
If I just slide over here.
Oh, no, you're solid. Can you hear him say something? Normal.
Hello.
What would you talk like that normally?
No, well, normally I would talk like this.
Okay.
Yeah,
you probably would. I don't know if you'll be able to pick his voice up, to be honest with you. We're rocking and rolling though. It's going to be phenomenal. You hear him? Oh, hey, they say they hear you.
Cool.
They hear. Not bad. What do we got? 6 seconds.
The first is still a mess. We're SMJ today.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Sports Talk with Brodes. We are here on this lovely Saturday. I would say the date. I don't know the date. It's actually March 30th. Wow, we're getting into April here, and lots to talk about. Actually, a beautiful last couple days of Philadelphia sports, if you will. You have the Phillies with opening day that I attended, which was absolutely unreal. The energy in the building was just crazy. Rhys Hoskins grand slam. I had a video that I'll show you at the break. It's not it's. I don't know if we can share it for the people. Lots of enjoyment, if you will. And
four-letter words.
There might have been. It was absolutely hilarious though at the time. Let's just say I was screaming at the Braves for, maybe that's what you get for walking Bryce Harper to give Rhys Hoskins a little how do you do there. And on top of that, you have the Sixers getting the monkey off the back, losing 2 in a row. Oh, we can't even get out of the first round. We got to relax. Convincing win against the Nets, in my opinion. There was no question that we were going to get that W. Joel Embiid had 39 points in 28 minutes? Okay, stop.
He was dominant.
Yeah, and lastly, the Eagles. The Eagles make a move for Jordan Howard, and I'll be honest with you, everyone's making it seem like we just picked up Adrian Peterson in his prime. I say let's relax a little. It helps the depth. We only gave up a 6th-round pick that will eventually be a 5th-round pick, but let's relax. So let's start off with Eagles, and then we'll dive into Phillies. I know Phillies is the hot topic right now, but let's get this out of the way. What are your thoughts on Jordan Howard? Because I think he helps the team. We're very thin, but his numbers have declined because of Matt Nagy's system that he doesn't fit. Well, guess what? We run the same system. Right. So I think it helps. I like the move. You barely give up anything. But let's just relax on what production we're getting. That's how I see it.
Sometimes when, my younger drinking days, my buddies would call me up and they would say, hey, you want to go out tonight? I'm like, I don't know if I want to, but why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
What else do I have to do?
Yeah, you're right.
I put this in a why not category.
And then you have a good time, by the way, once you end up doing it.
Sometimes,
hopefully,
believe me, there's been nights where I said I should have stayed home, but I would put this in a why not category because for the low risk of a 5th or 6th round pick to bring him in here. You don't know. Maybe you get something. You catch lightning in a bottle. Maybe he comes back to the form he was his rookie year, and then you have a dominant player. But truthfully, I just think he's just a little bit above what you have. With the rest of the guys that you have on your roster. But it's some depth. I think that the true impact of maybe not for the first half of next year, but the second half of next year and beyond will come in the first 2 rounds of the draft. Probably because they have 2 second-round picks.
Yeah.
So I think this is kind of like, let's get some guys we can rely on to be, hold on to the football, be good in pass blocking situations.
That's what he's going to be big for, yeah.
Right? And then we'll draft a young guy and we'll train him to be, more of our horse.
Well, this is what I see. It looks like Jay Ajayi's not coming back, but just imagine this.
I read today somewhere that the Eagles official like Instagram account unfollowed him
Yeah,
on Twitter.
yeah. They both like mutually unfollowed each other or something.
Oh, petty.
But this is what I would have done. Like, I still would have brought back Jay because I don't like Wendell Smallwood. I don't like Josh Adams. I know Jay can't stay healthy and all that, but imagine a 4-back system where I know we'd have the 3-back system, but with Jay going down, I'm just throwing this out there. What if you had Jordan Howard, Jay Ajayi, Corey Clement, and then a guy you draft? Like, why are we just throwing it out and saying, we don't want Jay Ajayi anymore? He's cheap. I know he doesn't stay healthy, but if you get him back cheap, like, why can't we have that kind of 4 backs? I still would have done that.
Because the price that you're paying Josh Adams or even Wendell Smallwood.
I don't. Josh Adams and Wendell Smallwood. See, last year I was cheering to just run the ball. We weren't running the ball at all, and that were our only options. But now that we can have options, it's equivalent to Vin Velasquez to me. I don't want it anymore. I don't want it anymore.
Let me ask you this. So say, look forward to the following year. 100% you know Jay Ajayi is not going to be there.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah,
so now you're going to be replacing him. Are you replacing, now you got to bring in another running back. You got to teach another running back your scheme. And that replacement, like, you might as well just rip the Band-Aid now. I don't think the return of Jay Ajayi would be.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and cry
at some
for
point
it.
You're going to have to go to the lineup that kind of looks similar to the lineup that you have now. So you might as well get a guy that maybe you can invest some time in, which you've already invested a year in.
Right.
With Adams. You've already invested 2 or 3 years with Smallwood, whoever it turns out to be. So now you don't need to teach them the schemes. Now you don't need to worry about them learning something to get on the field where they're going to miss a block for, we
still might miss a block.
I know, but it won't. But that might just be more of skill. But
I know.
That now you can work on their skill rather than having to teach them the scheme. Which is a big deal, right? Like having guys in your organization that you don't have to, teach the infancy stages of your offense, which you eventually would have to do anyway next year because you pretty much have admitted Ajayi's not coming back under any circumstance.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. It's the Vin Velasquez equivalent to Wendell Smallwood. It's like, okay, how many times are we going to keep throwing this out there? And I know he's had some production and all that, but I'm over it.
But it's not. I don't think you need the same amount of productivity from
that spot now.
3rd or 4th spot now.
Yeah, you're right.
In a running back.
Well, because if we draft a guy, I'm still going after Josh Jacobs because that was a name that we were talking about. I would still go after him. So then we would have a Jordan Howard, a Josh Jacobs, a Corey Clement.
Correct.
Now that's something
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You draft somebody. Now you have 3 guys.
Yeah.
Plus now Adams or Wendell Smallwood are your 4th. Even if they bring back Sproles.
I was going to say, what if we do Sproles?
Now you have 4 guys that are like. Your crop is a little bit better than what you had last year.
Yeah.
Right? And more importantly, that if you hit on the right pick with the draft pick, then you're developing the draft pick to be there for 3-4 years, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And you're not having this conversation years from now. So the draft pick is really what will make or break this.
We don't hit very well. We're not great at drafting running backs. Let's just say that.
They don't really draft running backs high.
I know. That's why I think we're not going
Who's the
to.
highest guy they've drafted? Shady?
Yeah, but that was even way back then. Yeah, since then it was like Pumphrey.
Yeah, it was the 4th round.
Hey, your future Darren Sproles on the practice squad. But no, when you just take a look at this offense in general, it does seem pretty lethal, though. I mean, it's something that is definitely scary with Nelson Aguilar in the slot, overpaid, but Nelson Aguilar in the slot, Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey, Ertz.
It starts with 11.
Yeah, of course. Even back there, I love the fact that this offense is pretty damn scary. I mean, it's pretty scary.
Starts with 11. This is a big year for him. There was nobody higher on him. The first time I laid eyes on him in person was in Chicago. I was at the Chicago game. Remember his rookie year? Monday Night Football. They played there. The second game of the.
Trying to remember. Lots of football since then.
Yeah. They on Monday Night Football they beat the Bears. The Bears weren't very good.
Oh yeah. I do remember this game.
And it was a great weekend.
That year we finished 7-9 though, right? That was the 7-9 year.
3-1.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
They beat Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they did. They destroyed Pittsburgh. Yeah.
A couple of weeks later from that Chicago game, and I was like, wow. I'm like, this is like we nailed this. Like this guy, just the way he conducts himself, that you can just tell physically, he looks like a leader, like everything you want, right? And then starting into last year and you're like, wow, this is the year before when they went to the Super Bowl, you're like, this is great. And then the injury happened, and I'm like, all right, well the injury now this is the third or fourth year in a row going back with him with the injury, and that does concern me. He needs to get over that. He needs to prove that he can stay healthy on the field. And then last year, coming back from the injury, and he looked just not himself. Okay, maybe he was a little rust, and then he gets hurt again. And
I'm not as worried as other people for some reason.
I am. And it has almost more to do with what I saw from him or didn't see from him on the field last year than anything else. That starts with number one.
I think it looked worse than what it was, though. Like, because everyone's saying, oh, well, Nick Foles spread the ball around more. And then you dive into all the numbers, and it's like, oh, he looked at Zach Ertz way too much. And then you look at what Nick Foles did, and it was even more than more. I think it was more of us with the eyeballs than it was actually happening with Carson Wentz.
I saw a lot of flat-footedness.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Was that just because he wasn't 100% from his original injury? Like, remember, all right, keep in mind, how bad was that offensive line for the first 7 weeks of the season? He was getting hit 8 times a game. I mean, you know what I mean? That offensive line went from the worst in the league in the beginning weeks to...
he was looking at times, he was looking at scanning, even when he did have time.
Was that because, this line is getting me crushed? Like,
no,
it just...
he wasn't going through his progressions the way he needed to. And that concerns me. That's concerning.
I'm not as concerned as other people. I think he's fine.
I was concerned back then. I kept saying it. I was like, I'm concerned about this. But bottom line is, this is a big year. And then the story comes out. Then that story came out.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if you heard Doug Peterson talk over the weekend,
I did.
He said, yeah, maybe Carson could do things a little differently.
But that's fine. I mean, what does that mean, though? Like, people hate him now.
Right now,
the way he said it, it made it seem like he wasn't giving enough time to the defense. He said he's like very split in the locker room, as if he needs to spend more time with the other side. That's what he said.
No, I thought in general, I just thought he needs to be kind of more humanized with the rest of the roster. But the idea is still the same, that this is a big year for him.
Yeah, it definitely is. I'm not denying that.
There's been a lot of cracks in the armor in terms of versus where it was a year and a half ago. I thought this was a no-brainer. Like, this is the guy that's going to carry you in for the next 10 years. And will he still be but I guess what I'm saying is, will he be Cam Newton, right? Like, who is a franchise quarterback, who will have success, or will be closer to the top other, like...
Yeah, I got you. But I'll be honest with you. I would take a Cam Newton as my franchise quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, what's your alternative? Andy Dalton's?
Well, you know what I'm saying? That's not the... That's the response, but that's the response because that's the reality, but that doesn't mean you're in a good reality.
I think that's a good reality. Like, I would not be... Cam Newton is an above-average quarterback in this league. To be the elite is like 3 quarterbacks. Cam Newton will never win a Super Bowl.
I
mean, he got 15-1 and got there, so I know. Listen, and you can argue that, that's still fine. What's Andy Dalton? What's the rest of the league done? You know what I mean?
Then you're the rest of the league. There's nothing, you're the rest of the league. That's who you are.
You're in a way better position being in the Panthers than being at 85% of the rest of the league. And that puts you in a better position than the rest of the league.
To me, you're either the Saints, the Patriots, and whoever else you put in that can win it all category, or you're everybody else.
But see, the only reason why I disagree with that is because the Eagles are at a spot now where you're not going to be in position to go out and get that guy.
You're right, which is dangerous, and I'm not saying it's going to change. I'm just saying that you are either that you either can win it all or you can't, right? And if you have the guy who you now have to kind of tie yourself to because of the fact that you don't have any other options. And it's a lot like the NBA when you give out a max contract. Like, we talked about it with Ben Simmons, right? When Ben Simmons was kind of going through some struggles, or even with Jimmy Butler, you have to sign him because otherwise, what are you going to end up with? Spencer Dinwiddie?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Chris Middleton.
But does that mean you're in the best, you're going to be a legitimate title contender? No.
Well, I'm going to sit here and say, if you ask me, if you told me I got to put my, $10,000 that the Panthers can never win a Super Bowl with this constructed roster, I'd sit there and say, no, I would take it that they have a chance. Is it an elite chance to do it? No, but I don't sit there and say, well, there's no way in hell. But if you ask me, can the Bengals win a Super Bowl? I'm going to sit there and say no. You ask me about all the other teams, like I look at the Panthers and you say, will Cam Newton ever win? I don't sit there and say, no, he's terrible. There's no way he can do it.
I don't think he can ever win.
Okay, I think he can. I
don't think he's progressed enough as a passer in the pocket, which is obvious.
Yeah.
Which is how you win in this league.
Yeah.
Right? You look at...
I just think that it's so hard to win the Super Bowl, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't have the chance. I've seen him go to the Super Bowl. Granted, they got blown out by a team where it was one of the craziest Super Bowls ever, but I think he's good enough. He's in a tier where we talk about the Sixers, where it's, you have the elite and then you have the other, and then you stink. He's in the other.
So Cam Newton.
He's in the other.
Cam Newton is a physical guy. He was never afraid to throw his body around, right? 3 years ago, he was a quarterback that was, you could have made the argument he was a top 5 quarterback in the league, right?
I get it. Well, in a Super Bowl season, you sit there and say, yeah.
He's not going to start this year. Right? The physical, the pound of the NFL, given the way he's played the game and the position, is starting that he's about 30 years old.
Yeah.
Right? He's starting to physically decline. He's not even going to play for the majority of this year, I think, right? Like, is he going to miss it?
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure he's going to miss half. He's definitely not starting the year.
Yeah.
He might miss half the season. So my point is, now you're going to start to see him kind of come back to the middle of the pack. He's a lot closer to the middle of the pack now at 30 years old than he is at the top 3. And it changed just like that. Where 3 years ago, he was an MVP candidate.
That's the league in general, though, because the lifespan, the average lifespan of the league isn't very long.
But the elite teams have the quarterback, like Brady.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's only like 2 or 3 elite.
I get it.
You know?
I get it.
It's like you're really not going to find elite.
I thought Carson had a chance to be, at the very least, in.
He's in that right it category. Yeah.
I don't see there's questions about this is a big year going into his sustainability to be able to stay there.
We went way longer on this tonight. We somehow went into Cam Newton argument. Like, I'm not even a Cam Newton guy, but my argument was he's better than, I think he's better than you're giving him credit for.
My point is this is a big year heading into, is he sustainable or is he not? Like, to be able to, when I say sustain, is he going to be able to sustain that top 5 status for a decade, or is he going to start to regress because physically he starts to decline?
I don't even think it's like he's putting himself in these positions. I sit there sometimes and say, that's football. How many quarterbacks would have ran that touchdown in against the Rams?
I don't want that. I don't care.
But I'm just saying, I don't think it's, wow, he's the problem. It's his fault he's getting injured. I look at it and say, I mean, that's football. It's a shame that it's happening, but it's football. How do you not get hurt?
How come the Mannings never get hurt?
Well, what the hell is Eli Manning doing? That makes you that care if he's hurt or not.
He's a 2-time.
But you're also talking about elite quarterbacks at the time in the league. Like,
so
elite is like 2 or 3 at the time.
My point is he needs to start tailoring his game to fit the way that those guys play, considering that's how the league's designed.
I think he is though. Like he did not run the same, nowhere near the same.
That's because he couldn't run. So if he didn't run, he needs to learn the nuance of the game from the pocket.
Yeah, that's fine. But in the first 7 weeks of the season, your offensive line was the worst in the league.
It went beyond that for him.
All right, but I'm just saying, it factors in.
Explain to me this, and I don't want to pick out one play, but when that drive against the Panthers, okay, when he was throwing the ball, he almost turned.
He said, okay, go ahead.
Right?
Yeah.
Explain to me how the offensive line missed the check down. Explain how they threw coverage.
There were times, of course, but there were also times where he put us in a position to win. What about in overtime against the Dallas Cowboys that he gets a loss for? We go down, he comes back in the fourth quarter how many times? Like 2 times, 3 times?
Horrific in the first half.
You're right, but in the back end of the game, he put us in position to win the game 3 times, and then our defense but he gets a loss for that. And no one remembers those really nice sideline plays right up the sideline. 3 times he dropped it in the breadbasket. No one remembers those. You know?
Yeah, well,
I'm just saying.
I think it's a big year for him.
It is. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying.
I think contract. He's going to be here.
Yeah, and he should be.
This will determine. This year will start to give you a better idea. Is this guy sustainable for a decade, or is he going to be kind of hold your breath from here on out for the next 5 years.
See, what's going to bother me is everything that happens. If he does have a bad start, if this happens, that happens. All we're going to hear is wrong quarterback. Well, the fan, the fan base is it's ridiculous.
You said at the beginning of this topic, they have no choice but to resign him.
Yeah, but that's fine, and that's the right move, though. This was the right move regardless.
Regardless,
like you can't tell me you trade Carson Wentz.
No, you don't.
I know, but people think that.
You don't. But
right.
Again, it's like being in a poker game when you know you're kind of pot committed. The Eagles are pot committed.
Yeah,
they know
that's fine.
They know there's a 50-50 chance or less than that they're going to win the pot. But like they're more or less. You
think that there's a less than 50% chance they win the pot on Carson Wentz?
I don't. We'll see.
Okay.
I don't know. This year, I'm just saying. I'm not down.
I know you're not. I know.
It's all my point is this is a huge year.
I got you.
Him. This is like his career can go left or it can go right after this year.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I'm with you. I just feel more confident about him because I know this was 2 years ago or whatever, but it's crazy how much people do forget. And it does go by quick. And a couple years is totally different in football from 1 year to the next, just in that aspect of it. But I remember, as bad as it was last year at times, I still remember beauty plays that he made. And it seems like nobody else does.
You're remembering physical moments, like him exuding his physical attributes. I don't want him to be athletic back there.
No, I'm not talking about that. And I also saw something where, I don't remember off the top of my head, but it was a stat where how many games he's really missed. And it was somewhere around, just ballparking, 8 games.
Okay.
And the fan base makes it seem in 3 years, 8 games is 35.
That's a flawed stat.
Okay.
Because the injury that happened his rookie year happened the first game of the preseason. Okay. So it was still an injury that happened during the course of that season. It just happened to be that he missed those final 3.
Why would you call that flawed?
Because if that happened, he got hurt.
Yeah.
So he still got hurt, right? If that injury happened September 5th, he would have missed an additional 4.
Fair, but
that injury. But it's still
I'll take the flaw.
It's still it's still an injury like that. Like it's another shot to his body. It's still something that had to go on.
Okay.
And I forget what there was a broken rib.
Yeah, a cracked rib.
Cracked rib, right? So if that happened in September, now you can add another 4 games to that.
Okay. But it didn't. But go ahead. Is there anything else with it?
No.
Okay.
Injuries are injuries.
I know. I think it's just the sport, though. It's not physically him. It's not like God made his bones and said, you know what, we're just going to make him crack.
Russell Wilson hasn't missed many games. Breeze hasn't missed any. The Mannings.
But it's not. You're also naming these guys that I'm saying is the tier that is the elite, on the top of the tier.
But there's some
not that Carson Wentz isn't, but I'm just saying.
Model yourself after that a little bit.
How many years? But I don't know. I see it differently.
Would you rather model
than Russell Wilson? He's always scrambling, and that works.
He's a different athlete.
My point exactly.
Okay.
My point exactly.
But he also has unscathed injury. Like he's been able not to get hurt.
But he's a different type of beast,
right? Like the only person that's been able to sustain taking hits and hits and hits, and I don't even know how he does it because he starts every year in a walking boot. Is Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
But other than that. All these other guys are like the least athletic looking guys I've ever seen in my entire life. Yet they're the ones that are always playing in conference championship weekend.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's
so if I'm presenting you this, right?
Are they when you go up? If you're a defensive player and you're going up against Tom Brady, do you think you soften up the hit?
No, but he doesn't let you hit him squarely. We
can't compare Tom Brady getting hit to anybody else.
I'm not comparing Tom Brady getting hit. What I'm saying is there needs to be a little more Cam Newton in him, where you're just being an athlete and take some of that athleticism and be more of the guy that wants to deliver from the pocket.
But also counter that with this. When you're 24, or what do you come in the league at, 23?
Older, he's 23.
Well, yeah, okay, so he comes in at 23, but the experience of the NFL is different to the point where, you can't just ask a 23-year-old, hey, stop everything you've ever done and then just pass in the pocket. I think it takes a little bit of a transition to, hey, this is what you did. Let's work on this so you can become more this.
That's fine.
Right? Yeah,
now
and I think maybe...
year 4.
Yeah.
And he's already suffered all these injuries. If he's ever going to learn, I think now's the time to learn.
I can't say that one in LA is Carson Wentz's fault. It's just football. Like, that's just what it is. Like, he ran in for a touchdown and someone hit his knee. Like, that's just football. Like, that's just what it is.
But it's still.
It's not his fault. Like, it's not his problem running the football in. I mean, that's just the game.
And like Brady got hurt. He tore his ACL. But yeah, and it's fine. But it's still, and I understand what you're saying. But at the same time, it's still a wear and tear on your body.
Yeah, it is.
Like, so now you need to find ways, knowing that like it's.
Did we also expect way too much from this kid to just come back? However many, like 9 months later, and just expect him to dominate again? Yeah, exactly. I think that factors in as well.
I'm more worried about the head. Like, when I say it's like his
mental aspect.
Correct.
Yeah,
like,
the mental game.
I want him to be just like a guru, like when he steps up to the line.
Like the first year. Or second year.
And knows everything that's going on before it happens.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, I want him to be such a student of the game and be such a savant.
I don't know if we have to have a problem with that. Like, he's definitely not.
Last year, you watched some of the film.
He's definitely a student. I think the guy's obsessed with football.
He was mind-boggled at times. He was looking at those, hieroglyphics. Like,
I think they didn't give him as much freedom as they did the year before. Because the year before he was walking to the line, changing things, kill. Last year was like, okay, this is the play and they run.
Kill.
Yeah, but this year, but is that his fault or was that hey, Frank Reich's not there anymore, this is the offense we're running? I mean, there's a lot that plays into it. We went way into this.
No, but I'll just wrap it up.
Yeah.
Like this. I'm just saying this is a big year.
It is. You're right. And I will not deny that. Yes.
This is a big year.
Absolutely. It is a big year. Yeah. We're going to take a break. Jordan Howard to Cam Newton.
Who?
Jordan Howard.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, because that's how far we went down the line? Okay. Oh, okay, I gotcha. Way over my head. I need more coffee. We're going to take a break here, and let's talk Phillies, because I want to talk about Phillies, and I got a question I want you to answer on the other side here, but I'll ask it now. I've been hearing the buzz around the city, and this has been a topic that I've heard, and I disagree with it, to be honest with you. And it's, who is the second best team, not second best, as a city, what is the second team after the Eagles? And now you're hearing the argument, and I think it's just because of the hype. Well, when the Phillies are good, it's the Phillies, because this is a baseball town. But I'm sorry, I think it's the Sixers, but we'll get to it on the other side. I think the second team in the city is the Sixers after the Eagles. Everyone's falling in love with this Phillies thing as if we're this big baseball town, and we are. And it's just new to us again because it's been so down. But to me, it's clearly still the Sixers. We're a basketball town after the Eagles. So on the other side, we will discuss that, and we will be back then. Wow, that was a great little debate. That might have been our first legitimate just I didn't even realize the time. We were just into it.
Just going at it.
It's funny. I saw Gargano and Martinez got. Let me see your computer picture. Is it on? I just want to show you the video. They got in a heated debate the other day, and they were just going after each other. It was so funny.
As a parent,
I'll just plug into mine.
making sure your kids have what they need to stay healthy.
I don't know. I didn't talk about
when they're sick. Well, now there's help. Medicaid and the Children's Health Insurance Program offer free or low-cost health insurance for kids and teens, all the way up to age 19.
Okay.
They can get regular checkups, immunizations,
I don't know why
doctor and dentist
login
visits,
didn't work.
hospital care, mental health services, prescriptions, and more. Children in a family of 4 earning up to $47,700 a year or more may qualify, and parents may be eligible for Medicaid too. It's a helping hand for parents with their hands full. For more information, go online to insurekidsnow.gov or call 1-877-KIDS-NOW. That's 1-877-543-7669.
Where's the volume on this
Enrollment
bad boy?
is open year-round, but why wait? A message from the
Oh.
U.S. Department of Health
I'm
and
losing.
Human
I'm a
Services.
Mac guy.
This is your
Oh, yeah. Wait till the very end.
This is SNJ today. Everyone loves clean energy. Here at Orbit Energy and Power, we set the standard of excellence for clean energy and clean water. Whether you're looking to add solar to your home or company, Orbit Energy and Power works directly with you to ensure you're getting the
That's what you fucking He sent it into bar stores, but it didn't get picked up. So funny. We're going to do one more commercial and just head right back into it. There's not that many lined up.
What were they arguing about?
Who's that?
Gargano.
I don't remember. I'm trying to think. We got 25. Is it about the Sixers maybe? Like, Martinez was like worried that the Sixers are falling apart, and Gargano's like, dude, relax, or I don't know. I forget. It was something like that. We got 10 seconds though. Welcome back to Sports Talk with Brodes on this lovely Saturday. Some nice weather finally. Speaking of nice weather, baseball. Speaking of baseball, did you think about the question I asked about the second hypest team in the city? Overall, it's not just a right now thing. It's just when all teams are good, we obviously know the Eagles are the best.
We're all at the same plateau.
Yeah.
I would say the Phillies.
Really? You would really go? I was stunned by that. I just, I maybe because since my sports legitimate die-hard bleed Philadelphia fandom, I haven't experienced, 08 was great, but I wasn't dissecting Ryan Howard's plate approach. I was just there at 10 years old. I'm not sitting there watching Cole Hamels fastball on the outside corner.
You weren't noticing
the little stuff. I wasn't the beauty of baseball in general.
Well, not even that. So you're talking about from a fan perspective. So when we talk about the fans, we're talking about the most casual. Is it more likely that a casual fan is going to pick up and put on a Phillies paraphernalia, or is it going to put on the Sixers and be more into it? Right?
I guess so. I mean, I'm just saying in general. I guess this even isn't just casual. It's like diehard fans as well. I just
the diehards. We'll see.
The diehards anything.
The diehards anything.
Yeah, you're right.
So
you're right. Except for hockey.
Except for you.
Yeah.
Then you go down to the next two tiers of the type of fans.
Yeah.
And
that's what we're trying to look at right now.
Correct.
Yeah.
You'll watch if this team is with the buzz that's started with this year, if they're into it, if they're still in it going into August, and not like last year's going into August. You just watch. You go down the shore, Phillies red everywhere.
But does that come with that being the only sport hyping around in the summer? It's only baseball like that. So you're wearing your Philly stuff.
I don't think so.
Because people aren't going to be rocking their Flyers T-shirts in July.
Who wears Flyers T-shirts at all?
All right, fair. But you're going to see Eagles T-shirts. I just think if all teams are great, the second best team in the second. Not most hyped, but the second team in the city is the Sixers. I think this is a basketball town over a baseball town. But I'm not saying we're not a baseball town, but I'm just saying I think this city is a Sixers basketball town more than a Phillies town.
I think baseball as a sport captures more just general sports people.
Yeah, I
does basketball.
You probably might be right. Well, I'm thinking you go to the ballpark and it's just a variety of people though, because it's a different type of sport and it's what to do. I don't know. It was just
it's more family engaging.
Yeah, I agree.
You go and there's just
the fanatic, and then they have that thing for the kids. And yeah, you're right. It definitely is more of a family. It's going to Ocean City instead of Wildwood. Yeah, you know what I mean. You go to well, not that the Sixers are Wildwood, but you get a little crazy in there, right?
People of Wildwood.
I'm
going to Keenan's with you.
What I'm saying is, Ocean City's the family beach. You know what I mean? You go with the family, you got the kids, you got the Wildwood's more of the crazy vodka water bottles. You know what I mean? Oh, that's classic. All right, well, let's get into the Phillies now that we're talking about it. That's actually hilarious. What a great win! I mean, really, 10 runs. This is what bothers me. Well, of course, the national media is saying that we boo Bryce Harper because of one drunk idiot who decided to boo him sarcastically.
It was a little more than one. It was a small percentage. But
was it really people booing him, or was it like a sarcastic? Haha, we're gonna boo him because he just struck out.
I hope it was sarcastic.
Come on, I mean, even if there's one person, I know. I made the joke of my back was against the wall, dude. I was literally the last seat in there, but it was a great environment. But yeah, I mean, come on. That's not a real boo. And I also hate, I walk home, and my girlfriend's mom doesn't really know much about baseball. Mm. And she also freaked out when he got this paycheck saying, wow, I can't believe he makes that much money. That's ridiculous. How can get paid that much? And I'm like, okay, yeah, but it's baseball. I walk in, and she goes, well, he wasn't worth it. that grand slam, I'm not going to sit there and explain to her how that grand slam was because of Bryce Harper. You know what I mean?
You drop it. All right, touch.
Yeah, yeah, right. That just kicks me out the curb. I have nowhere to live. But no, I'm just saying, like, that happened because of Bryce Harper. Like, first off, I get it. They were trying to set up the double play and all that. But looking at Bryce Harper right now, he's not ready yet. I would have attacked Bryce Harper. And Bryce Harper's one of those guys that can snap at any time. His bat speed's not there yet.
Streaky.
Yeah, I mean, his bat, he's a little slow. It's not there yet. It's not clicking
now,
yet.
like, he could go on a 3-week just...
Yeah, oh, no doubt about it. It's just... I love this line. And I'm starting to wonder if teams are going to say, let's attack Bryce, not attack Rhys Hoskins, and then Real Muto's going to be the guy. This lineup is so sick. This lineup is so sick.
Is there any 1 to 2, maybe 3, whatever, like make or break guys that you're like, this team becomes next level if this guy plays well? Like, who are the X factors?
My X factor when I made my my Phillies season opener like preview, I said it was Rhys Hoskins. Really? I think if he can dominate that fourth hole, it's just going to be unreal.
See, I expect him to.
Okay, I got you.
I pencil him in. I'm like,
he's already going to be solid.
Right.
Okay.
So then it's like those next couple guys, and I think, because I believe that this guy is the most talented Philly to come through, most talented person to come through the Phillies farm system in a long time. I mean, he's a complete, just aloof like guy, and it's Franco.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say that. Well, this is what I like about him. He's batting eighth now, right. And it's not as much pressure, and he hits a dinger. You know?
He can hit 30 home runs at the 8-hole.
Yeah, I know. Well, this is what I love about 2 days ago now. By the way, I hated that I didn't have a game yesterday after the opening day hype. Well, McCutchen hits a leadoff dinger, by the way. How great was that?
Here's why I say that, because Franco has middle of the order talent, and you're placing him like eighth.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
In a perfect world, you got Franco fully focused, and you're like, listen, man, like just make a few adjustments, and he hit his peak, like his ceiling might be higher than even like Hoskins' ceiling. Now Hoskins will stay at the average and be at the higher because he's just more focused and he's just smarter and like whatever the case may be. But like if you were to just say, okay, at max capacity, like here's his max, like based off of talent.
Yeah, I got what you're saying.
Franco's probably as high as anyone on the team.
Yeah, I get what. Yeah, but it's not coming out that way though.
Right.
Yeah, I got you.
So my point is, if you get 80% or 75% of what his peak could be, like out of the 8-hole.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. This is what I love about the game, though. It's Cesar Hernandez knocks in a run. Odubel Herrera knocks in a run. Franco hits a dinger. Last year, that was our 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
This year, it's our 6, 7, 8.
Right.
It's unreal. And it's like, where do you take a break? You have McCutchen up there, who's a very solid leadoff guy. Segura's going to grind out at-bats, give you a 300 average. Then you got Bryce Harper. Then you got Rhys Hoskins. Then you got Real Muto. Oh, you want to take a break against Odubel, against Cesar? And then you got Franco? There's nowhere in this lineup to say, I'm going to take a pitch off. Yep. It's unreal. Now, it comes down to, first off, we had Nola on the mound. And very uncharacteristic Nola. He had 5 walks.
Yeah.
Okay, he did great. I thought Gabe Kapler did a great job of keeping him in the game. But how about this, though? One thing that bothered me. Hector Neris. And I know it sounds little, but last year he went through that huge mental thing. We sent him down to AAA. Last year, we were up in the opening day game, but 4 runs. We pull Nola. Hector Neris comes in. He blows the lead. What happened last game? We had the lead. We pull Aaron Nola. Hector Neris came in, 2-run bomb. I'm sitting there saying, no way this is going to happen again.
His entire season or career or even outing to outing all depends on if he gets another. So he's splitter heavy.
He has a 6 splitter, but it's like so inconsistent.
The splitter is only as effective as another pitch, right? So if the splitter is, you're not going to throw splitters for strikes.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I know he can't throw another pitch for a strike, I'm spitting on the splitter.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm just like this. Like, dude, you can't throw a strike. So, if I see anything that's going to be, waist high to knee high, and that's your splitter, I know it's going to drop out of the zone, so I'm going to take it, and I'm going to wait for you to get behind in the count, and then that's when these guys go, no, but if he's able to throw a changeup for a strike or another pitch for a strike, now that splitter, because he gets ahead in the count, now that splitter is because the batters are a little more jumpy because of the fact that, they're already down on the count.
Yeah, no, I agree completely.
That's big for him. And that's what happened when he went back to the minor leagues. He worked on, I believe it was his changeup, and he was more efficient with it. And it in turn made his splitter more effective. And
he stinks.
Yeah, I mean,
I was a little underwhelmed, and I know I'm not going to sit here and say, well, he stinks, but David Robertson came in and struggled a little bit. And I thought he was going to be our closer. I thought it was going to be Nishak, Dominguez, and David Robertson.
He's during his time with the Yankees and during the time with Chicago, with the White Sox, they tried to make him a closer, and he's a 7th, 8th inning guy.
Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, I'm okay with putting Cervantes down there. I just thought maybe with more experience than someone like Cervantes. Cervantes could be a setup guy, then Robertson comes in with the experience and closes the door. But regardless, I'm not going to sit here and criticize
him. Now here's the concern for the Phillies.
What's that?
They got 4 more games before Nola pitches.
That's what I was going to bring up with the Nola thing. Nick Pivetta on the bump today. I haven't been this. It's game 2, so the hype is still there.
Like a Christmas tree today.
Really? This is everything I hear. It's breakout Pivetta. I'm not believing it. My buddy.
That's why.
I know.
It has nothing to do with Nick Pivetta. It's just like
the hype.
When the masses are like picking this guy as the breakout guy, what normally happens?
Yeah. So we definitely agree on this one because my buddy's a huge Nick Pivetta guy. I'll wake up to just pictures of like his face. Like he'll text me like, "Are you ready today?" Like it'll just be like Nick Pivetta's like face.
That's weird, man. Your buddy sending you pictures of Nick Pavetta's face?
Okay, I thought you were like seriously like, no, like it's like a funny joke. Like, you ready? It's breakout season.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, no, it's not. But I think all my friends are weird and just send me all kinds of stuff.
No, it goes on.
But yeah, no, you're right. There's so much hype involved, but it's because it's game 2 that I'm getting excited. But I have my day scheduled around the first pitch today.
4:05.
Yeah, and maybe it's
yeah,
exactly. And it's good at game 2. Am I going to feel the same way with game 80? Probably, because I'm like that. But I'm just saying, I am on the point now. It's like, oh, what time's the game tomorrow? 7 o'clock. I got to be on my couch at 6:50.
There's nothing better than being down the shore on a Friday night. Phillies start at 7, and you're at your wherever it is that you're having the first cold one.
Yeah.
And the Phillies are coming on. You're having that cold one. You're watching meaningful baseball.
Oh, I know.
From the shore.
Yeah.
Like it's.
You know what I like on top of that?
It's the best.
I like the beach 1 o'clock Saturday game or something, and you're just listening.
Well, and this is what I'm saying.
Now I can even stream it on my phone.
You were too young to remember this because you were what 10, so you didn't really notice it. But back during the Phillies run, you would go down to CI. You would go down to Ocean City. You would go down to your favorite place, Wildwood, which you've already read.
I'm an Avalon guy, actually.
Oh,
that's because my friends my friends have money. I don't have money.
But the beach would just be filled with Harry on the radio.
Right.
Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it would just be all up and down the beach.
Yeah, that's unreal.
Every Sunday. Every Saturday and Sunday. It was just that's what happens at this.
Yeah,
time.
well, when baseball's good, this is like the true.
Around October, man.
True, I know.
Like like a fall October night with just the bunting, like the red, white, and blue like bunting that gets hung around.
Yeah.
When the rally towels in it.
Well, we also have that, and at that time too, it's like football comes back, so it's gonna be we're gonna have baseball going.
Dips.
Yeah,
double dips.
Sunday 1 o'clock. Eagles 8:25.
I've done it. Gone down to there. I think it was they played Atlanta. The year Matt Ryan's first year that they won this,
Eagles.
they won. Yeah, the Eagles played Atlanta. The first year when they won it in 08 at 1 o'clock, they won the game, and then they turned around and it was the Joe Blanton
Oh,
run game.
that's
I
right.
was at that.
That's
game.
unreal.
They won 10-3, and it was just like
A double dip?
for me. So you were 10 years old?
Yeah, well, what was it, 2008?
12,
Yeah, 11 years ago. I was 12. Yeah, about 12 years old. Yeah.
Okay. I was in my prime. I was 21
Yeah,
years old.
you were like almost me now, and just enjoying the beauty
I
of
had
it.
no responsibility.
Oh, it's great.
The only thing I
Nothing
ever did
wrong
was
with-
maybe go to class if I felt like it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not a bad responsibility.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm jealous. Although I'm doing that right now. What?
Yep.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
No. Listen,
Yeah.
my prime was my junior hockey when I was up in Vermont, 18, 19, 20. I'm in college now, 23-year-old junior. I look at those other kids that are like going to Landmark on Fridays. I'm like, okay, Brodes, you're past that, buddy. You know what I mean? Like I'm
Oh,
just,
man.
yeah. I put on the sweats. I kick it with the wife. We pet the dog, and we watch the game.
I had buddies like that went to different colleges in like Maryland or out in Pennsylvania, and during like the playoff run, they would be spending tons of money and logging tons of miles on their car just driving back and forth.
Yeah, oh, I bet. Yeah.
No, it was
Well,
chaos.
see, this is how I feel for like a playoff game. You know, people like to go out to the bars, get hammered. I need to be in my environment. You know, whether I have my buddies are over, whatever. But my buddies are just as into it as me. I can't be in an atmosphere where like I can't hear the game. Like unless you go to somewhere like Xfinity, where it's clearly they play the sound speakers. That's totally different. But I need to be in. I don't like that anyway, to be completely honest. But
Focus. I need to be.
yeah, for a regular season game, maybe you go, yeah, whatever. But game mode, I mean, don't talk to me, screaming up and down, hat throws, like I'm something else. But all right, we're gonna hit a break here, and on the other side, we're still gonna kick it with some Phillies talk and some Sixers here, and I'm not sweating the Sixers. People were insanely devastated
Did a
over.
couple tournament picks too.
Oh, that's right. Wow. Whoa. Slipped right over my mind. I forgot about the tournament. Duke squeaked out another dub. Squeaked it out against Vatech. UNC goes down. They got smacked by Auburn. Very exciting. I was upset with Florida State. I thought they were going to... That was my dark horse. They lost to Gonzaga. But Gonzaga's a really great team. This is going to be a great stretch for the NCAA tournament. On the other side, we're just going to talk sports. It's as simple as that. See you there. Wow, how did I totally forget about the tournament talk?
What do you like today?
What do we got here? It's Gonzaga and what's the matchup?
Gonzaga and Virginia. So it's
Oh my god.
Gonzaga plays Texas Tech.
Dude, Texas Tech smacked Michigan, but Michigan played bad that game. If they play bad, they're dumpster fire. Do you have the things up right now? Or no?
Oh, on my phone.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
Tech and Gonzaga versus Purdue and Virginia.
Oh yeah, that's right, dude. Wow. I hate that Purdue's gonna literally make the Final Four, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, and I said they sucked and they weren't gonna get out of the second round. Classic Brodes.
You think they win?
The whole thing or this game? No, I think they could win that game. Virginia just won a game scoring 51 points against Oregon. They won like 51-49 or something like that.
Yeah, that's. They weren't hitting their shots the other night.
I did pick though Virginia to win the whole thing in one of my brackets. So I was, you know what, bounce back here. They're gonna do it. We don't have that much time. We're gonna do one.
Tony Bennett looks like a scared person when he's coaching.
Yeah, you're not wrong. What's going on, fellas? You enjoying the show? Any questions? You got any questions we can answer for this last segment? We got about 12 minutes left of the show. All right, we're going to come back after this.
They probably all want to kill me because I'm coming after Carson Wentz.
Nah, there's plenty of people like you. Plenty. But smart people. Jerk-offs, smart people. Same thing. I'm not getting any comments. 20-something people. We did have a lot of chats rolling up there throughout. It's just hard to read when I'm actually talking. Oh, we got 8 seconds. Welcome back to Sports Talk with Brodes. This is the final segment of the show. We've just been talking about pretty much everything that's been great with Philadelphia sports. How about today, though? So we had the one day where it was bang, 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 the trifecta of Philly sports. We had the Phillies win, the Sixers get the monkey off the back, and then we make a nice Howie Roseman trade while he was at the Sixers game of all things. We get a question here. Brodes, what teams do you think will make the Eastern Conference Finals?
In hockey?
No, to be honest with you, initially I was thinking, well, of course, Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
but
I know where your mind.
Yeah. I'm thinking, I'm big. I was talking about the trifecta here, and we have one today, by the way. We got Flyers, Phillies, Sixers, bang, bang, bang tonight. 1:30, 4:05, 8:30. You all right? Oh wow, that's a bug in the studio, huh?
That's like a wasp.
Yeah, that is like a wasp.
He's away for now.
All right. Well, good thing we only got a couple. We got a little left of the show
Maybe
here.
it's a hornet. Maybe it's the Charlotte.
Oh, wow. Is that it? Wow. Do you think
we're
they're making the conference finals, do you?
Bringing in a prop.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you put Sixers in that? I'm sure at the end of the day, that's what he wants to hear.
He ain't getting
it from you. Wow. I'm saying yes.
I'm going Toronto and Boston.
I'm saying Sixers, Celtics.
Toronto, Boston.
Sixers, somehow, it's going to be Sixers, Celtics. Sixers, Celtics. Eastern Conference Finals.
You think they'll beat Toronto?
Who's that?
The Sixers.
Oh, okay. They were saying sarcastically that the Celtics are going to play them in the conference finals. People agree with us, by the way, and I think he's talking about me. I think we could beat Toronto. It's not going to be easy, but I think we can. Right now, people are watching this team judging the way they're playing, and I just know when it's playoffs, it's different. And I think Jimmy Butler is going to be different, and I really do. I think people are so worried right now. Like, did you see this game? Yeah, the game where there's 7 games left and they already know where they are. Like, come on.
That doesn't. That's these guys.
It's the NBA.
These guys shift their focus. Like, they've been sleepwalking since Christmas.
I had one guy making videos about me because I made a video called Sixers Fan Base Rant. Because I was ranting. The 2 games came out where we lost. And I'm telling you, the same people that said we were going to the Eastern Conference Finals, the same people were now saying we're going to lose in the first round to the Brooklyn Nets. And I said, but relax. This is the NBA. We're already located a spot in the 3rd seed. We're good. And people actually made counter videos to me. Brodes, you're an idiot. This is the coach's fault. We get a nice win against the Nets. Convincing win. I don't hear a peep about Brett Brown or anything. Right. It's just crazy.
They also lost. They lost the assistant.
Yeah, that's right.
He's going to the Hawks.
By the way,
the Hawk will never die.
The fan base, the St. Joe's fan base, is not happy with that hire.
The people, they're the old curmudgeon, traditionalists that are the reason why the program has fallen behind like it has over the last 4 or 5, 6 years. And it was the right move to move on. It was the right move not to just. The people wanted to hire just Jameer Nelson. Somehow his name.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, like why? Just because he played. That's a Flyers move. That's an ex-Flyers move.
That's exactly what it is. They needed a fresh perspective.
But I will say this. I not that I'm knocking Billy. Maybe their defense won't be great. But the one thing that has been a storyline with the Big 5 coaches is a school like St. Joe's, your ceiling is only so high. So do you keep someone there who was there and he's going to be great in the community? Like, what he's bringing to the table. You're going to have a good organization and you're going to be what it is. Or what's your job now? But is Billy going to be the guy that really spark it to the next level?
Let me ask you this. When you say their ceiling is only so high, what do you think that ceiling is?
Well, you have to be competitive within your conference.
There's no reason they should be out of the top 3 teams in the A-10 on a year-in and year-out basis.
Well, there's some really good teams in that A-10.
Who's left?
Well, pull up.
I know who it is.
Okay.
It's VCU.
Okay. But this is something I learned in class, by the way. It's my current issues in sports, and it talks about how much money these teams get and spend. You take a look at this VCU basketball practice facility. This isn't even the stadium. Yeah. And you tell me that you can get someone to commit to St. Joe's over that. This thing is hot tubs, pools, you won't even be able to get a lick of those
That's what
products.
happens when you make a Final Four.
Right, you can't get recruits over that. So who else is it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's only so much you're going to be able to do at that school.
St. Louis, Rhode Island.
URI has a really good program over St. Joe's. Like a really good program.
Listen, I don't, especially coming off the heels of where. Like, St. Joe's had a chance to do what VCU did, coming off of that.
You're right, and they didn't.
Then they didn't capitalize
right.
on it.
No, the way that you should see it is you can't put them at a national scale and say they should beat Villanova. You're not going to do that. But you can always say you should be competitive in your conference. So yeah, I agree. The last 3 years, I think it was under 500 records. They've
had a lot of injuries.
Yeah, you're right.
They've had a lot of injuries.
I don't follow St. Joe's
to really good players.
Yeah.
They had a really good recruiting class coming in. It's probably one of their best recruiting classes in quite some time. When they were healthy, they were about a couple minutes away from going to a Sweet 16 a few years ago. But they should be a perennial pick to win that
Agreed.
every year.
Agreed. I'm with you on that.
That's what their ceiling is. And
right.
and that they should be legitimate. Like, there's no reason they couldn't be. When Xavier used to be there, they couldn't be the Xavier of the A-10. Xavier's no longer there.
But now I'm telling you, I'm just take a look at they need to upgrade a lot because nowadays recruiting is all about what do you got. And I just don't know if St. Joe's is anywhere close to what these schools are.
Like, you're recruiting 4
exactly. You will literally throw up looking at what VCU gets as a practice facility. I was stunned.
I believe it.
Yeah, it's like a mansion-like stuff. The hot tubs, pools, pool table, and they have two. It's one, and it splits off into both, and it's men's and women's, their own facility for each, and it combines.
Horse is a different color, but along those lines, I've been inside the North Carolina baseball facility,
and that probably blows VCU's basketball gym out of the water.
And I've been inside the North Carolina. The Dean Dome and in the bowels of the Dean Dome.
Yeah.
Right? And oh my God.
I know. So how is little St. Joe's going to compete with that? Now in the A-10, you can probably compete with URIs and you can probably do that. Yeah, but there are some teams up there that spend way more money than with recruiting these days. That's what these kids come to campus and like, okay, what can you give me? What's the setup?
Right.
Am I going to go to the local coffee shop in South Philadelphia, or am I going to have my own Starbucks in my gym?
Come on, man. River Manioc?
Yeah, I'm a South Jersey guy.
Main Street Manioc isn't going to get a nice young
I'm a South Philly guy. I wake up if I had it perfect, like I get a little row in here in South Jersey, not little anymore. But if I had it, I'd living in my own apartment in Center City. I grab my backpack in the morning. I walk down the street. I grab my coffee. I go to class in the city. I'm a city guy. That's what I want to do. I want to live in the city. Walk to the stadiums. Maybe get a little walk in me before I go to the Sixers playoff games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No,
see, that's Center City. That's not West Philly where St. Joe's is.
You're right. No, I know. I'm just saying, like, if that's
at the end of it, there's AI's old hangouts.
Yeah, right. I'm just saying in general, like if I could pick and choose what we're doing here, you know what I mean?
I agree with you. And then there's Davidson. I mean, there's Dayton, Davidson. Like, these are the teams that are.
Yeah, you should be able to compete with those teams. I'm a LaSalle fan now.
Yeah.
What? Why can't I be a LaSalle fan?
Yeah. Well. There's is there any harbored resentment there from the other side?
Nah, it's part of the business.
Yeah, it's
part of the business.
That's a good way of looking at
it. Yeah, but I actually think he's doing he loves the Brock. He's doing, I don't know, he did 22 games last year, color commentator for play-by-play.
That's great.
So he's loving that side of it. But anyway, now that the show's kind of.
So who are your picks today for we talk about college?
Oh yeah, real quick here. We got about 2 minutes before we end the show. My picks today, I'm going with Purdue. I think Purdue's going to get it done over Virginia. And Gonzaga plays who again? Texas Tech? Mm-hmm. Do I dare pick 2 upsets in a row? That Texas Tech team looks really good against Michigan. They blew them out of the water. Screw it. We'll go 2 upsets.
Doggy.
Bang, bang.
Doggy.
What are you thinking? 2 number ones?
I'm going Virginia wins.
Wow, okay.
And Texas Tech.
Okay, Texas Tech look good. Gonzaga, everyone's knocking this Gonzaga team. They're not knocking it. But, like, I have more faith in that Gonzaga team than I do the Virginia squad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe it plays into last year's factor of blowing it. But I don't know. But that's where we are here. So, hey, another Saturday here on Sports Talk with Brodes. I thought this was a good show. We start out with a little bit of a heated debate, if you will. But hey, that's what Sports Talk Radio is all about. Then we bring back the love with the Phillies. And then we agree on things. Although we disagree, because I think the Sixers are the number 2 team in the city. But all I know is Nick Pivetta, breakout Nick Pivetta, is on the bump today, 4:05. I'm going to be petting my dog watching, and I'm excited. How about you?
It's better.
You got refereeing to do?
Yes.
Yeah? You going to miss the game, or you going to be able to catch it, listen?
I'll be on my.
Nice. That's exciting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that being said, go Sixers. Go
I
Flyers.
wish I could go golfing instead.
I need to start doing that. I just called Grandpop. I said, Pops, let's go hit the links. And I could see the smile through the phone.
Yeah,
I could see the smile through the phone.
He probably plays that Boca Raton golf.
No,
160 down the middle every time.
He's good.
Yeah.
I mean for he's shooting low 80. Like he plays golf.
350 yards into the woods.
Yeah. See, there's a different style. Real quick before we head off here, I get my 30 with the boys golf, and then I get my hey. Grandpa, you think I should use my wedge here and really focus on the wind? You know what I mean? Like there's two different styles.
They say hockey players have the most similar swing to a golf.
Yeah, I mean they do say that. Yet my ball's really shanking.
Really?
No, I'm just being an idiot.
Yeah.
I do okay. I'm a poker, so I literally swing 70%, and I just poke. So like
That's all you need to do.
I know, but it's like I should be getting more out of my drive than I am.
Right. Stay in the fairway.
You're right. Hey, listen, it's playable golf here. All right, with that being said, we're out of here today. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week. We had a great time, by the way, the other week in Atlantic City and Vagabond. Thank you very much for that beautiful, beautiful display of Sports Talk with Brodes. See you guys next week. I don't even know what the hell.